Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News and your daily wrestling newscast for Thursday, October 13th, 2022. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with AEW's first show held outside the United States. Dynamite was broadcast live last night on TBS from the Coca-Cola Coliseum in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. In the main event, Orange Cassidy defeated Pac to win the All-Atlantic Championship, pinning him after 2 orange punches in 11 minutes and 19 seconds. The win earned Cassidy his first championship in AEW.
Wow, what a match. What a struggle. What a night. Boom! Orange punch again. He's knocked out. He knocked him out. 2, 3. I love it.
And new AEW All-Atlantic Champion, Wrestling Squeeze, Orange Cassidy.
Unbelievable. His 68th win in AEW. It's his first title. How about that for OC?
Cassidy is the second All-Atlantic Champion, ending the reign of Pac at 109 days. Earlier in the night, Chris Jericho, the crowd favorite in his home country, successfully defended the Ring of Honor World title against Bryan Danielson, pinning him after outside interference from Daniel Garcia, who turned on Danielson and revealed his allegiance to the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Good for you, Daniel Garcia. Good for you. Finally, someone sticking up for the values of that code of honor.
Oh, wait a minute. Watch out. Oh, the psycho knee from Danielson. And wait, Garcia! What have you done? Wow. The loyalty right there lies with Garcia. You want to talk about Judas? Daniel Garcia. Hey, Garcia knows where his bread's buttered. I don't blame the young man.
This was the rubber match between Jericho and Danielson, with Danielson winning their previous encounter on September 14th and Jericho winning the initial match of the trilogy on September 4th. The show opened with the AEW debut of Renee Paquette, who previously worked under the name Renee Young as an announcer for WWE from 2012 to 2020. Paquette worked last night's show as an interviewer and is expected to be a part of the AEW announce team going forward.
Paquette. And welcome to AEW Dynamite.
A report from Fightful Select indicated that Paquette had recently turned down an offer to return to WWE as part of that company's announce team restructuring. Paquette is also the wife of AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, who appeared in an in-ring promo segment in which he was confronted by former champion Hangman Adam Page.
I'm a former World Tag Team Champion, a former World Champion. I've watched my family members be lowered into the ground, and I've brought new life into this world just like you have. I'm a husband, I'm a father. I've been choked till my face turns blue, and I've been beaten in that same face over and over, and I keep coming back because I am a man. Damn it!
Moxley and Page are scheduled to square off for the title next week on a special Tuesday night edition of Dynamite at the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati. In other results, Luchasaurus defeated Jungle Boy, Swerve Strickland pinned Billy Gunn, Samoa Joe and Wardlow beat QT Marshall and Nick Cameroto, and the team of Hikaru Shida and interim World Women's Champion Toni Storm upended Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. WrestleTix reported that as of yesterday afternoon, 7,454 tickets had been distributed for the event, with only 139 remaining available. New sections had been opened up for ticket sales as recently as yesterday morning, with many selling out quickly. In other AEW news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
More AEW content centered outside the ring looks to be on the way. In an interview yesterday with The Hollywood Reporter, Kathleen Finch, Chair and Chief Content Officer for Warner Brothers Discovery's U.S. Networks Group, explained that the company is looking to collaborate with AEW on developing more non-wrestling content. Warner Brothers Discovery is the official media partner of AEW and owns the TBS and TNT networks on which AEW cable programming airs. Finch discussed using brands like AEW to help build the male-skewing viewership that TNT and TBS attract. She told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "We really play in the sports space. One of the things that we're doing around sports is creating shoulder programming to hold on to those fans. AEW pulls huge numbers, so we are working with the wrestling team to figure out what new kind of content can we build that's not in a wrestling ring." End quote. TNT previously developed the Outside the Ring reality show Roads to the Top, which only aired for one season before Cody and Brandy Rhodes left AEW last February. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
In ratings news, NXT last Tuesday night on the USA Network drew its largest viewership in almost a year with 737,000 viewers, according to Showbuzz Daily. That's up almost 18% from last week's episode. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.15, up 15.38% from last week's 0.13, and totaling 196,000 viewers in the demo, according to WrestleNomics. The biggest demographic increase came in males 12 to 34, with a 66.7% jump from last week's episode. NXT's largest demo, people over 50, had a 13.9% increase to a rating of 0.41, the highest in almost 2 years. This was the most watched episode of NXT since the Halloween Havoc episode on October 26th of last year. Canadian numbers are in for last Monday's episode of Raw, which drew its largest audience since September 5th, according to Post Wrestling. The season premiere episode averaged 258,100 viewers in Canada, with 148,400 of them in Canada's most valued demographic, aged 25 to 54. And Women of Wrestling's third episode, which premiered in syndication on October 2nd, drew 251,000 viewers, a decrease from the first two episode audiences of 281,000 and 273,000, according to WrestleNomics. The audience in the 18 to 49 demo was 57,000 viewers, or a 0.04 rating, which is higher than the premiere episode, but lower than the second episode. The female portion of the episode's audience was 46%, down from the previous two episodes, but still higher than any WWE, AEW, Impact, or New Japan show. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.